Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rob and welcome to the Savage Body. Today is our very first belated Saint Valentine's Day. Now many of you may not know who Saint Valentine is. Well, he's obviously the patron saint of lovers. You may not know that he's also the patron saint of epileptics and bees! Woo doggy! That was tough getting those bees out of here, let me tell you this. A lot of lassos. Today I want to talk to you about exercise and hypertension. More specifically, I want to talk to you about how to use exercise to control your hypertension in order to prevent premature death and its bedfellow, premature horrific sadness and misery in your friends and loved ones. Exercise is easy, and it's a great way to keep your bright, shining star casting its rays down upon this cold, dark, loveless stone we call the earth.
Hey! The world isn't loveless at all. In fact, it's chock full of love and similar squishy things. Like octopuses and tomatoes and waterbeds. Don't be a negative Nancy. Be a positive Peg. And don't forget to have a happy super-belated Saint Valentine's Day, you lovely squishy little thing you. Love, Bianca the Italian.
Now first let me give you a disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I have my doctorate. It's a clinical doctorate in physical therapy, so technically I'm a doctor. However, I'm about as much of a doctor as someone with a doctorate in women's studies as a gynecologist. The word doctor in the medical context means something. It means surgeon or physician or psychiatrist or dentist. Not PTs. Not chiropractors. When it comes to medications or starting a new exercise program, you should talk to your physician or to your cardiologist first. Better safe than sorry, yeah? I have before me an article entitled Exercise and Hypertension, a prescription update integrating existing recommendations with emerging research. The article was published by Pescatello et al. In 2015 in Hypertension and the Brain. A very, very specific publication. You don't see it in a lot of Barnes and Nobles on the magazine racks. This article is exactly what it sounds like. It breaks down the application of exercise to hypertensive populations with the dorkily appropriate fitness acronym FIT. Frequency, intensity, time, and type.
Nice.
Let's talk about it. Frequency. Aerobic exercise should be performed every single day of the week. Resistance exercise should be performed 2 to 3 days a week. According to the article, exercising as little as 1 day a week is as effective as pharmacotherapy at reducing the likelihood of death in hypertensive people. Furthermore, a recent meta-analysis showed that there is no statistical difference between exercise and pharmacotherapy in mortality outcomes in coronary artery disease and diabetes. Even furthermore, physical activity interventions are even more effective than pharmacotherapy for the secondary prevention of stroke mortality. Daily exercise and lifestyle modification are the name of the game. They are the best way forward. I just said that doing it once a week is fine. Why daily? Daily exercise is important because on the days that you exercise, your blood pressure will be lower and it will stay lower for around 24 hours. This is called post-exercise hypotension, PEH, and PEH may be in large part why daily exercise is an effective way of managing your hypertension. Also, if you exercise every day, you're gonna be burning more calories. If you burn more calories, you're going to weigh less, which takes a huge load off of your heart. It doesn't have to push so hard to drive that blood out into all that extra tissue. Also, people that exercise age more successfully and live fuller lives. Exercise can be the difference between you spending your 70s and 80s touring Rome and walking the sand beaches of Capistrano hand in hand with your lover, and spending your sunset years confined to a wheelchair as your mind slowly fades away. I make this sound dramatic. I want it to sound dramatic because I want you exercising, but look at the research. The research is clear. This is the way. I've said it 1,000 times. Exercise is the fountain of youth. Yeah, we're all gonna die eventually. That's fine, but exercising daily will keep you as healthy and young and virile as possible up until the day you die. And then once you're dead, fine, you can stop exercising, I guess. But I'm gonna keep doing it. The letter I in FIT stands for intensity. You're gonna like this. Moderate intensity aerobic activity, so 40 to 60% of your VO2 max, or 40 to 60% of your heart rate reserve, or an 11 to 13 on a scale from 6 to 20, where 6 is just kind of going for a stroll, and 20 is you're being chased uphill by rabid wolves with AK-47s. Resistance training should be performed at about 60 to 80% of your 1 rep max, or if you're doing sets of 10 to 12, the last couple of repetitions should be challenging. So in other words, the intensity, not that intense. Intensity does, however, have to be progressed. Once you fall out of the training zone, you're no longer training. The new research that this article integrates is on high intensity interval training, or HIIT training, which is defined as alternating periods of brief high intensity work followed by low intensity rest. HIIT training is kind of the gold standard for training your cardiovascular system. It's huge for professional fighters, professional athletes, recreational athletes, anybody that really wants to kind of improve their cardiac performance. HIIT has been shown to provide a superior decrease in blood pressure compared to normal moderate intensity aerobic exercise. Now, HIIT training in a hypertensive population requires finesse. I don't want to go into that yet. We're going to go into that in a later video. But if you're a healthy, non-hypertensive person, know that HIIT training is the gold standard. I have a video here that tells you how to use kettlebells to get cardiovascularly shredded. It's awesome. I made it, so it's awesome. You'll love it. It's awesome. Check it out. The third letter in FIT is a T. And do you know what the T stands for? The recommendations for time are 30 to 60 minutes of accumulated or continuous exercise. And by accumulated, I mean that you can break up that 30 to 60 minutes into little chunks and spread them throughout the day, and you still get that training effect. You can do 4 sets of 15 minutes, you can do 6 sets of 10 minutes, whatever's gonna work for you, but just keep in mind that shorter bouts, anything less than 10 minutes, don't seem to grant that post-exercise hypertension benefit. For resistance training, you're gonna do 8 to 10 exercises, working all major muscle groups in the body. You're gonna do 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions. Bare minimum, get 150 minutes a week. Keeping in mind that you are investing in your present and in your future, and 150 minutes a week, that's not that much. So it should be easy for you to do. And it should also be easy for you to do maybe a little bit more. The final T in FIT with 2 T's is type. What types of exercises should somebody do if they're trying to manage their hypertension with exercise? Well, for aerobic activities, you're talking about walking, jogging, swimming, Fit for Life in the water at the Broadview YMCA. I've heard they've got a great program there. And for resistance training, you can just use the exercise machines or free weights or, you know, whatever tickles your fancy. If you're a new exerciser, I would recommend using the machines because they're easy. They're straightforward. You can't screw them up. Can't screw them up that bad. I've seen people screw them up. I've seen people screw them up really bad, actually. Always entertaining. Now look, the research on using aerobic exercise and resistance training to manage your hypertension is a little weak. They just haven't done a lot of it. For some reason, the scientists just haven't reached up and grabbed those plump, juicy science fruits and squeezed out the sweet, delicious science nectar. I don't know why. I think the reason they haven't looked into it all that thoroughly is because there is already a galactic scale plethora of research showing how effective aerobic training and resistance training are at reducing hypertension, at improving the overall fitness of the organism. The research makes it pretty clear that it would be prudent to do both, especially if we're talking about a patient population that's aging. I've already said it, but I'm gonna say it even more again right now. Resistance training is the fountain of youth. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Look at these things. Huh? You think I'd have these things? I'd have little squeezy arms if I wasn't into resistance training. Oh yeah, who's having a good Valentine's Day, huh? Who's having a good Saint Valentine's Day, huh, buddy? Yeah, I love you. Resistance training is a fountain of youth. I recommend you drink deeply. In the research, they're keen to mention that 70% of Americans over 65 have hypertension. And from 2010 to 2030, the direct costs attributable to hypertension is gonna triple from $130 billion to $390 billion. To put that into perspective, Americans, mostly millennials, I'll bet, spend something like $900 million a year on avocado toast, which is delicious. I'm a millennial. I love that stuff. So if we all banded together and took all our money that we were gonna spend on avocado toast and put it in a little jar labeled hypertension, in 36 years, we could foot that bill no problem, which is beside the point. The point is that every one of those dollars that's being spent on somebody with hypertension is being spent on somebody with hypertension, an individual, a person with friends and family and loved ones. This is not about the money, it's about taking care of yourself, for yourself, and for your friends and family and loved ones. We like having you around. That's why I made this video in the first place. When I heard that my mom had a TIA, which is a transient ischemic attack, which is like a little mini stroke, my first thought was maybe a little ridiculous. My mom is dead. My second thought was worse. Oh no. What if she's not dead? But she's got right-sided hemiplegia and she can't wipe her butt anymore, and I'm the only physical therapist in the family, so I'm probably gonna have to wipe my mom's butt. And my third thought was also ridiculous. I'm gonna have to kill myself. I'm kidding, I did not think that I was gonna have to kill myself. But I did think I was gonna have to wipe my mom's butt. Essentially, I made this video for my mom because I wanna make things as easy as possible for her and for people like her, people with hypertension, to take care of themselves. I want there to be a video that's easy for people to use as a resource to get on track and start taking care of themselves. So here's my challenge to you. If you know somebody that has hypertension, I want you to send them this video. If you have hypertension, I want you to take everything that I said, I want you to chew it up, I want you to swallow it, and I want you to change your life for the better. I want you to take my advice and I want you to start exercising, provided you've been cleared by your physician, and that's it. If you have any questions about anything that I've gone over, I want you to send me a message. I am in my office all day, every day, and I am here to help. Otherwise, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, do all the social media stuff, and again, happy super belated Saint Valentine's Day. Thanks for the watch. I love you. Enlighten the mind, elevate the spirit, and make savage the body.